I don't know either.
Okay, so we'll just start with So what is this, Aaron? What are we doing?
We're talking.
This what the show's gonna be?
Yeah. This is it. It's like Hard Shop Life, but with two people.
I think I got enough out of that to use it.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron. Let's talk about shitty employees.
All right.
Do you want to talk about shitty employees?
Sure.
Do you want to go for it? What makes an employee shitty, and is there anything you can do about it?
No. There's nothing you can do about it. You just fire them.
Yeah, but we don't really most of the
No.
time. We just kind of
You just wait it out until they decide that this isn't worth it, and then they move on with their lives.
But is there anything you can do? Like, what are the biggest problems that you, as a manager, see? Or the most consistent problems, I guess, maybe.
Initiative, probably. Taking initiative.
People are afraid to, like, do things on their own without, like, asking you, or...
Maybe. Or, just, maybe prioritizing things.
The biggest things that, like, I see is people getting too comfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe.
they'll start at their own liberty slacking off, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it's tough when you're just like, all right, do this. It's almost like they get offended.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to offend people, too. Especially when in that kind of environment, when they're used to doing things a certain way, or they're used to a laid-back situation, and then you ask them to do something. They're not really expecting that. But, I mean, sometimes they're fine with it.
I think one of the biggest problems we have, though, is we're in an industry where we can't, like, pay people, like, career wages. So, like, when they come into it, it's kind of like a throwaway job that's just kind of like, oh, this will be fun, but they're not going to earn, like, 50 grand a year, so you can't, like, you know what I mean? They always have plans after the job.
I think the main issue is people get this idea that they're working in a card shop, and that they get this idea in their head that it's going to be great because you're working in a card shop, and you're going to be, helping people all day with cards and selling them cards and talking about magic and everything.
They're just going to be just totally fun the entire time.
Yeah, and then they realize that a lot you do in a card shop is boring, mindless work where you're just sorting and putting away cards and doing inventory.
Well, I have that with the whole, like, oh my god, you get to own a card. So, like, so many of my friends are like, you own a card shop? That's so sweet. And I'm like, it's all fucking paperwork and paying taxes and yelling at people. It's the same thing as any other job, only a lot less, like, prestige.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really physically intensive. You're just kind of sitting there for a long time. So people are like, oh man, you just get to be inside all day, sorting cards, being with cards, talking about cards all day. And you can only tell the same stories about cards so much. And then the decks change, and then the next week you hear that stuff. And then, so let's say, like, after a pro tour that Monday. Well, we're getting off topic now.
Yeah, we are. All right, we'll go back to employees.
Okay.
And then we'll go into, okay, yeah, we'll segue into that later.
Okay.
Back to employees. So
right.
The biggest problem I see is they take the liberty to slack, basically. I think primarily because it's a card shop, supposed to be fun, yada yada, and everyone that we hire is like, okay, when I get out of college, I'm going to do this. It's one of the careers where when you hire someone, they're already telling you what job they're going to be doing after they leave. So I think it's just they take it as a fun throwaway kind of job, not as a shit actually needs to get done.
I mean, it's definitely better than working at McDonald's.
Yeah. I worked at McDonald's once, just to pull off game pieces from Monopoly.
Okay.
And I couldn't last long enough for our store to actually get them in for me to steal them, because fuck that place. So I was there to be a thief, and I actually couldn't even make it.
All right. So I guess I mean, it's better than a throwaway job, but
what can we do about it? Like, what can we do as
it really just depends on the personality of the person. I mean, I came from a cafe, and I'm going to college. I also didn't have really any motivation to do anything with my degree in college.
Yeah, but you take this job like seriously though. Like you actually like give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
Is it because you're the manager? Like you? Is it because like you?
No, because I took it seriously when I just worked there.
No, you did. You did. Like,
So, I guess it just depends on the person, because depending on the person, they're going to take certain things seriously, but also keeping it serious all the way through. Because if you get too comfortable, like with certain employees we've had, then they just kind of slack off and they don't take it seriously anymore. But we've had good employees that haven't done that. We've only had a couple employees.
yeah, and the employees we have are kind of like in the same group of people, pretty much too.
Yeah,
Most of them, at least.
yeah. I don't know. I think it helps that if you're not like too involved in with the game, because like I'm like casually involved. I'm like, oh yeah, Magic is fun. You just play it. But so like maybe that's why I'm not too serious and I don't slack off too much.
I did like when I was playing EDH all the time. That's when I was like just there to play EDH.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but
now
can't be fired.
I can't be fired either.
No, it's true. Actually, I think you could fire me.
I probably wouldn't fire you because like you're not the worst employee we have there.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're, you're not very good at inventorying things.
Shut up. I don't know what happened with that.
You're not very good at sorting things and putting things away.
No, I'm terrible at that.
But you're really good at paperwork and talking to distributors and handling that part. So like I just wouldn't put you. I would just like move you out of stations and put you in a different station.
So what you're saying is I'm not getting a raise.
No, because you're fine in your station now. But like if I put you back to like the sorting station, then no, I'd have to find another spot for you.
Okay, so I'm not going to get demoted because I just suck that bad at sorting cards.
Like in a pinch, you're fine because like you can inventory it. You're not very great at conditions, but
I haven't looked. Sorry.
So,
okay,
yeah.
So I guess my question then is, what can be done about me to get me to do the shit that I need to do?
It's really just about. Are you motivated to look at conditions and take the time? Because
no, when I see a stack of fucking cards like this, and I know there's what 1,200 different cards.
Yeah.
I know how long it's going to take to inventory.
Yeah.
And I just don't want.
It takes 15 seconds per card.
For you, maybe.
Yeah.
When I have a stack of cards, do I have a fucking stack of cards anywhere?
I don't know.
All right, I'll use like these. I got like this, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm typing the shit in, and when I move one, this stack didn't get a dent put in it. And I move another, it still does.
Right.
And you're going, and like 5 hours later, I'm just like, this stack's still bigger. That's really how I inventory.
You just gotta push through it. Maybe we're just inventorying bad. Maybe we're the problem where we're not doing inventory correctly.
How did this turn into our employees sometimes are shitty
because
we just suck?
Because we're also employees. So like we have to set an example. So like I have a certain way of how I do everything. Like I know how to I like sorting in a certain way, so it's put away in a certain way. So when I teach someone how to do something a certain way, I teach them how I do it. So
to be fair, I think it was Baker one time gave me props on the way that I inventoried shit. Only because I put them all in 4-packs, and then I was like, all right, when I type this card in, I can move 4 cards off the stack instead of just 1. You just grab a stack of jumbled shit and you just plow through it.
Yeah,
which is fine. I commend you on being able to do that.
Yeah. Well, I also remember almost every card that I inventory, like as I'm going through the stack. So if I come across something that I've already inventoried 40 times, it just goes in the pile that just gets thrown away.
See, you quizzed me last time I inventoried, and I think I got the 3rd card wrong. Or if it's like a second, you're like, did you inventory this? I'm like, yeah, did you inventory that? Yeah. Oh, this. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You didn't do a great job doing that because you said yes to things and just wasn't there. But I mean, that's besides the point. You're not the best person to inventory.
Okay. So to answer the question, what can we do about shitty employees? It's simply this. We can just gripe about what we do and let them do their own thing.
We would probably have to like set them in a place where they're most comfortable. So like,
Well, even at that,
so let's say like employee A is really bad at putting cards away because they don't know like every set ever. So you just kind of put them into something that doesn't involve that deep of thought. So they can look at set symbols and go, okay, this set symbol is not this other set symbol. So it goes in this pile instead of this pile.
even if they are good at it, another huge fucking problem is no matter where you physically put them in the store,
Yeah.
there's always their friends or whatever that just loiter back, and now they're sitting behind the counter just bullshitting, distracting
Yeah.
the fuck out of them.
Well, I mean, that's another issue is, I mean,
That's not so much on the employees, though, to me. I mean, they should be able to tell them to get out of there, but there's some people that come behind the fucking counter that are friends with, like, all of us or them or whatever, and no matter how many fucking times I tell them to leave, they're like, oh, he's just joking. I'm like, no, seriously. You're slowing this dude down by half, which means now I'm paying him double as much per hour to get the shit done, and it's just like,
yeah.
I hate being that guy, but fuck, God, that's so annoying.
I mean, we really just have to hire people that just aren't friends with anyone. And they don't like magic, but they like magic enough.
All right. So we can wrap this up with this. We need to get an introvert loner who is okay with the game,
Yeah.
but doesn't like it enough to actually want to play it all the time.
Right.
Primarily because they probably are either scared or hate people.
Yeah.
So someone that enjoys the game but too afraid to actually get involved in the game.
Or we've hired people that play vintage because they love the game. They just can't play.
Yeah, there's no vintage tournaments.
So, like, they like EDH, but no one comes in the store for EDH. So, I mean, they're just...
Okay, so one of our two ways is one,
Or a collector.
we hire, or collector, a vintage or collector player who has like more money than God that's going to accept a minimum wage an hour job, or we hire someone who's potentially likely to shoot up a school one day.
Or we can just go, like, the other route where, like, we do have... our store is set up into, like, different things. Like, our store isn't just a store. We also do online sales. We also have this YouTube thing. So, like, if they're more comfortable in YouTube and they're, like, a great pro person, then great. I mean, they can shoot more videos. They can do deck techs, whatever.
Which we fucking need that. Oh my God,
I mean,
so bad.
we don't have... I mean, we've hired people recently that were supposed to do this that don't, and
Yeah, we hired people for YouTube, and our YouTube has nosedived. This is just how we do it.
yeah, it's fine.
So-
I mean, YouTube's just weird because, like, you need a special person to be able to do YouTube that's not shy and that's like motivated to do something.
Which is not easy.
No.
But you would think it'd be easy to find someone and be like, hey, we can put you in front of a camera, like 30,000 people up to whatever will see you. Like, you can get a little bit of, like, internet notoriety, whatever. Like, you'll start getting your own fans, your own fan base. Like, just to dump it on someone's... You'd think that's something that most people would be like, I want that. Like, I want to have that given to me.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
but...
I don't know. People also, like, for me, I think of this just as a job. It's a job, and I do weird things. Like, I do weird things at this job. Like, I record videos. A lot of people don't like when I record videos.
They just don't get your style.
They don't. And YouTube's weird because you not only have to have a personality to, like, be able to do it, you have to have a likable personality. And you have to have a personality that is easy to handle and easy to get to, rather than like, let's say my personality. So I have a dry sense of humor and I have a witty sense of humor that a lot of people won't get at first. And I'm super sarcastic, so a lot of people don't really get my sarcasm either because it's really dry, and after 300 episodes of Card Shop Life, you might understand it.
Maybe. Which we need to get into that, which would be a completely different question.
Okay.
Because
like right now we're still on like employees.
Like shitty employees.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what you do.
See,
Nothing. Deal with it.
I mean, yeah, you really just have to. I mean, if you like the person and they do a good job, like, and if they do a good job and they just don't suck, then you just keep them.
No one's perfect.
Yeah. And if they're not good for a certain job, I mean, there's other jobs that you can find for them in the store to do. I mean, for most cases, sorting, inventorying, and putting away cards, I mean, that's not for everyone. I mean, inventorying is also really boring. So I'm glad that we found someone that can also inventory things. That's not just me, because so far I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about. I mean,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's fine, and I haven't seen anything that I'd complain about. He doesn't come in very often.
No, that's true.
That's okay.
All right, let's just end this here then.
But I feel like we could just talk so much more about this.
We will later.
All right.